How to Win Friends and Influence People is a self-help book by Dale Carnegie, published in 1936. It teaches how to improve your interpersonal skills and relationships by following some simple and practical principles. The book has sold over 30 million copies worldwide and has been translated into 40 languages. The book is divided into 4 parts, each containing several chapters that explain and illustrate the principles of human relations. The 4 parts are: Part 1, Fundamental Techniques in Handling People, which covers 3 principles: don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Give honest and sincere appreciation and arouse in the other person an eager want. 1. Don't criticize, condemn, or complain. This principle is based on the idea that people don't like to be criticized, condemned, or complained about, and that doing so will only make them defensive, angry, or hostile. Instead of finding fault or blaming others, you should try to understand their point of view, their feelings, and their reasons. You should also try to focus on the positive aspects of their behavior and encourage them to improve or change by themselves. 2. Give honest and sincere appreciation. This principle is based on the idea that people crave for recognition, praise, and appreciation, and that doing so will make them feel valued, respected, and important. Instead of taking others for granted or ignoring their contributions, you should express your gratitude and admiration for their work, their skills, their qualities, and their personality. You should also make sure that your appreciation is genuine and specific, and not flattery or manipulation. 3. Arouse in the other person an eager want. This principle is based on the idea that people are more likely to do something if they want to do it, and not because they have to do it. Instead of imposing your will or your interests on others, you should try to find out what they want, what they need, and what they value. You should also try to show them how your proposal or your request will benefit them, satisfy them, or appeal to them. Part 2, 6 Ways to Make People Like You, which covers 6 principles. The 6 principles are based on Carnegie's observations and experiences of what makes people likable and influential. Here is a brief summary of each principle and why it works. 1. Become genuinely interested in other people. This principle is about showing genuine curiosity and care for others, rather than trying to sell or impress them. When you are interested in someone, you pay attention to their words, their feelings, their needs, and their passions. You also ask open-ended questions that invite them to share more about themselves. This makes them feel valued and respected, and they will naturally reciprocate your interest and like you more. 2. Smile. This principle is about using positive body language and facial expressions to convey warmth and friendliness. A smile is a universal sign of happiness and goodwill, and it can make a big difference in how others perceive you. When you smile, you appear more approachable, confident, and attractive. You also trigger a psychological response in others, as they tend to mirror your emotions and feel happier too. A smile can also reduce stress, boost your immune system, and improve your mood. 3. Remember that a person's name is to that person the sweetest and most important sound in any language. This principle is about the power of using someone's name when you talk to them. A name is a personal and unique identifier that distinguishes a person from others. When you use someone's name, you show that you remember them, that you respect them, and that you care about them. You also make them feel special and important as you acknowledge their individuality and identity. Using someone's name can also help you build rapport, trust, and familiarity with them. 4. Be a good listener and encourage others to talk about themselves. This principle is about the art of listening actively and attentively to others, and letting them express themselves freely. Most people love to talk about themselves, as it gives them a chance to share their thoughts, feelings, opinions, and experiences. When you listen to someone, you show that you are interested in what they have to say, that you value their perspective, and that you understand them. You also make them feel heard and appreciated, and they will like you more for it. To be a good listener, you need to avoid interrupting, judging, or giving unsolicited advice. Instead, you need to ask follow-up questions, give feedback, and summarize what they said. 5. Talk in terms of the other person's interests. This principle is about finding common ground in topics of conversation that the other person enjoys and cares about. When you talk in terms of someone's interests, you show that you have done some research on them, that you share their passions, and that you want to learn more from them. You also make the conversation more engaging, relevant, and enjoyable for them, as they get to talk about what they love. Talking in terms of someone's interests can also help you discover new things, expand your horizons, and deepen your connection with them. 6. Make the other person feel important and do it sincerely. This principle is about recognizing and appreciating the value and worth of others, and expressing it sincerely and authentically. Everyone wants to feel important and appreciated, as it boosts their self-esteem, confidence, and happiness. When you make someone feel important, you show that you notice their strengths, achievements, and contributions, that you respect their opinions and choices, and that you care about their well-being. You also make them feel good about themselves, and they will associate that feeling with you. To make someone feel important, you need to be sincere and genuine, and avoid flattery, manipulation, or exaggeration. Instead, you need to give honest and specific compliments, praise, and gratitude. Part 3. How to win people to your way of thinking, which covers 12 principles. The 12 principles are based on Carnegie's observations and experiences of what makes people persuasive and influential. Here is a brief summary of each principle and why it works. 1. The only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. This principle is about realizing that arguments are usually futile and counterproductive, as they only create resentment, hostility, and distrust. When you argue with someone, you are trying to prove them wrong and yourself right, which is a sure way of making enemies and losing friends. Instead of arguing, you should try to understand the other person's point of view, find areas of agreement, and seek a mutually beneficial solution. 2. Show respect for the other person's opinions and never say you're wrong. This principle is about respecting the dignity and feelings of others, even if you disagree with them. When you tell someone they are wrong, you are implying that they are ignorant, stupid, or irrational, which is a direct attack on their self-esteem and pride. This will make them defensive, angry, and resistant to your ideas. Instead of saying you're wrong, you should say I may be wrong. Let's examine the facts, for I don't blame you for thinking that way. I used to think so too, or you have a good point, but have you considered this? 3. If you are wrong, admit it quickly and emphatically. This principle is about being humble and honest when you make a mistake or have a misunderstanding. When you admit your error, you show that you are sincere, trustworthy, and willing to learn. This will make the other person more forgiving, appreciative, and open to your suggestions. Admitting you are wrong can also disarm your critics, win you sympathy, and enhance your reputation. 4. Begin in a friendly way. This principle is about using a positive and courteous tone when you approach someone or start a conversation. A friendly way can include a smile, a greeting, a compliment, a joke, or a common interest. When you begin in a friendly way, you show that you are respectful, likable, and interested in the other person. You also create a favorable impression, a rapport, and a good atmosphere for cooperation and persuasion. 5. Get the other person saying yes immediately. This principle is about using the power of agreement and affirmation to influence others. When you get someone to say yes to something, you are making them more receptive, compliant, and committed to your proposal. You can get someone to say yes by asking questions that they have to agree with, such as, do you want to be successful? Or do you care about your health? Or do you believe in fairness? You can also use facts, logic, or authority to support your statements, such as according to the latest research, or as the experts say, or as you know very well. 6. Let the other person do a great deal of the talking. This principle is about listening more and talking less when you want to persuade someone. When you let someone talk, you show that you are interested in what they have to say, that you value their perspective, and that you understand them. You also make them feel important, appreciated, and heard. By listening, you can also learn more about their needs, wants, problems, and motivations, which can help you tailor your message and offer a better solution. 7. Let the other person feel that the idea is his or hers. This principle is about using the power of ownership and involvement to influence others. When you let someone feel that the idea is theirs, you show that you respect their intelligence, creativity, and autonomy. You also make them more enthusiastic, confident, and loyal to the idea. To let someone feel that the idea is theirs, you can use suggestions, questions, or examples, such as "What do you think of this?" or "How would you do it?" or "Here's a case where it worked well." 8. Try honestly to see things from the other person's point of view. This principle is about using empathy and perspective taking to influence others. When you try to see things from someone else's point of view, you show that you are open-minded, fair, and compassionate. You also make them feel understood, validated, and respected. By seeing things from their point of view, you can also discover their interests, concerns, and objections, which can help you address them more effectively and persuasively. 9. Be sympathetic with the other person's ideas and desires. This principle is about using emotion and rapport to influence others. When you're sympathetic with someone's ideas and desires, you show that you care about them, that you share their feelings, and that you support their goals. You also make them feel closer, happier, and more grateful to you. By being sympathetic, you can also appeal to their values, passions, and aspirations, which can motivate them to act in your favor. 10. Appeal to the nobler motives. This principle is about using the power of ideals and principles to influence others. When you appeal to someone's nobler motives, you show that you respect their character, integrity, and morality. You also make them feel proud, inspired, and challenged. By appealing to their nobler motives, you can also tap into their sense of duty, honor, and justice, which can compel them to do the right thing. 11. Dramatize your ideas. This principle is about using the power of storytelling and visualization to influence others. When you dramatize your ideas, you show that you are creative, engaging, and memorable. You also make your ideas more vivid, concrete, and compelling. By dramatizing your ideas, you can also appeal to their imagination, emotions, and senses, which can make them more interested, excited, and persuaded. 12. Throw down a challenge. This principle is about using the power of competition and achievement to influence others. When you throw down a challenge, you show that you are confident, daring, and ambitious. You also make your proposal more fun, stimulating, and rewarding. By throwing down a challenge, you can also appeal to their pride, ego, and desire for recognition, which can make them more determined, persistent, and successful. Part 4. Be a leader, how to change people without giving offense or arousing resentment, which covers 9 principles. The 9 principles are based on Carnegie's observations and experiences of what makes people effective and respected leaders. Here is a brief summary of each principle and why it works. 1. Begin with praise and honest appreciation. This principle is about using positive feedback and recognition to motivate and inspire others. When you begin with praise and honest appreciation, you show that you are grateful, supportive, and respectful of the other person's efforts and achievements. You also make them feel confident, proud, and valued. By praising and appreciating them, you can also create a positive atmosphere, a rapport, and a goodwill that can make them more receptive and cooperative to your suggestions and criticisms. 2. Call attention to people's mistakes indirectly. This principle is about using tact and diplomacy to correct and improve others. When you call attention to someone's mistakes indirectly, you show that you are considerate, polite, and constructive. You also make them feel less embarrassed, defensive, and resentful. By calling attention to their mistakes indirectly, you can also avoid hurting their pride, damaging their reputation, or provoking their hostility. You can call attention to someone's mistakes indirectly by using hints, suggestions, questions, or comparisons, such as perhaps you overlooked this, or what do you think about this, or how do you think we can do better next time, or here is how I did it when I faced a similar situation. 3. Talk about your own mistakes before criticizing the other person. This principle is about using humility and honesty to influence and persuade others. When you talk about your own mistakes before criticizing the other person, you show that you are sincere, trustworthy, and willing to learn. You also make them feel more comfortable, understanding, and forgiving. By talking about your own mistakes, you can also set an example, share your experience, and offer your guidance. You can talk about your own mistakes by admitting your errors, expressing your regrets, and explaining your lessons, such as I made a mistake too, or I'm sorry for what I did, or this is what I learned from it. 4. Ask questions instead of giving direct orders. This principle is about using the power of involvement and participation to lead and empower others. When you ask questions instead of giving direct orders, you show that you respect the other person's intelligence, creativity, and autonomy. You also make them feel more engaged, responsible, and committed. By asking questions, you can also stimulate their thinking, spark their ideas, and encourage their initiative. You can ask questions by using open-ended, suggestive, or rhetorical questions, such as what do you think of this? Or how would you do it? Or don't you think this would work better? 5. Let the other person save face. This principle is about preserving the dignity and self-respect of others. When you let the other person save face, you show that you are compassionate, generous, and magnanimous. You also make them feel less ashamed, humiliated, or guilty. By letting them save face, you can also avoid making enemies, losing friends, or creating conflicts. You can let the other person save face by minimizing their faults, emphasizing their virtues, or offering your help, such as it's not your fault, or you did a great job otherwise, or let me assist you with this. 6. Praise the slightest improvement and praise every improvement. This principle is about using the power of reinforcement and encouragement to change and develop others. When you praise the slightest improvement and praise every improvement, you show that you are attentive, appreciative, and supportive of the other person's progress and potential. You also make them feel more confident, motivated, and satisfied. By praising their improvement, you can also boost their morale, increase their performance, and strengthen their habits. You can praise their improvement by giving specific, sincere, and timely compliments, feedback, or rewards, such as you did a wonderful job on this, or I'm impressed by your improvement, or you deserve a bonus for this. 7. Give the other person a fine reputation to live up to. This principle is about using the power of expectation and aspiration to inspire and challenge others. When you give the other person a fine reputation to live up to, you show that you have faith, confidence, and respect for the other person's abilities and character. You also make them feel more proud, inspired, and challenged. By giving them a fine reputation, you can also appeal to their values, ideals, and goals, which can motivate them to act in accordance with them. You can give them a fine reputation by using labels, testimonials, or comparisons, such as you are a great leader or everyone speaks highly of you, or you remind me of someone who achieved great things. 8. Use encouragement and make the fault seem easy to correct. This principle is about using the power of optimism and positivity to help and guide others. When you use encouragement and make the fault seem easy to correct, you show that you are hopeful, helpful, and positive. You also make them feel more optimistic, capable, and determined. By using encouragement and making the fault seem easy, you can also reduce their fear, frustration, or discouragement, which can hinder their progress. You can use encouragement and make the fault seem easy by using words, examples, or suggestions, such as "you can do it" or "look at how far you've come," or "here is a simple way to fix it." 9. Make the other person happy about doing the thing you suggest. This principle is about using the power of emotion and persuasion to influence and convince others. When you make the other person happy about doing the thing you suggest, you show that you are friendly, appealing, and persuasive. You also make them feel more happy, interested, and persuaded. By making them happy about doing the thing you suggest, you can also appeal to their needs, wants, or desires, which can compel them to act in your favor. You can make them happy about doing the thing you suggest by using benefits, incentives, or rewards, such as "you will enjoy this," or "this will make you more successful," or "you will get a bonus for this." By applying these principles, you can improve your communication, persuasion, leadership, and influence skills, and make more friends and allies in your personal and professional life. Enjoying the content? Don't miss out on future videos. Hit that subscribe button and join our community for Crystal Faith TV. Your support means the world to me.